You all know YouTube's CEO is stepping down. Susan is gone and in her place is Neal Mohan. Today we're going to find out who YouTube's new CEO is and how Neal Mohan managed to worm his way onto YouTube. How Neal managed to get into Google wasn't as straightforward as you would expect. Neal didn't really apply to Google. Google acquired him. Let's take a look at Neal's work experience. He used to be a senior vice president of product at an online advertising company called DoubleClick, meaning he has a ton of experience dealing with online advertising. Since DoubleClick was an online advertising company, they offered advertising services which helped companies like Apple, Visa, Nike, and Microsoft raise the efficiency of their advertisers and acquire customers. While Neal was at Google, he got to work on Google Display Ads, which powers those banner ads on the top of page or on the side of the website article. Neal also got to work at Google's AdSense division, which sends ads to millions of websites and YouTube. He also worked on AdMob, which is how Google sends ads to millions of apps on mobile devices. AdMob has both an ad network and an ad mediation network. It's a business which is similar to IronSource. AdMob helps the developer add different types of ad placements, reach higher paying advertisers across the various geographies, and consolidates all analytics from different ad networks onto a single dashboard for easy analysis of data, especially when making decisions on ads. AdMob also lowers the bloat in the app by having one singular SDK to manage multiple ads. This allows the app to run smoothly without any slowdown from running 4 different advertising SDKs at the same time. Now that the brief overview of Neal's time at Google is over, this is how Neal Mohan got into YouTube. Neal Mohan graduated from Stanford with a degree in electrical engineering and went to work at a consulting company which is now called Accenture. After that, he moved into a company called Gravity, an internet advertising business where he worked as a senior analyst. However, Neal's old boss, Richard Frankel, explained that Neal was actually a high-end customer representative for their advertising software. Neal's boss said Neal didn't just help customers solve their problems with software, he helped his clients figure out how to use Gravity's technology more effectively. This helped Gravity get more returning customers. Neal would go on to work at DoubleClick, a company known for its ad exchange which connected buyers and sellers of ads online. During the dot-com bust, Neal was responsible for fixing DoubleClick's problems. A big chunk of it came from failing to integrate Abacus Direct into their product lineup after the acquisition. With Neal's help, DoubleClick was able to create an extensive ad network, so much so that when Google tried to buy DoubleClick for $3 billion, the FTC tried to stop it. They were worried that Google would gain too much power over online advertising if they bought DoubleClick, but in the end, Google acquired DoubleClick and also its employees, Neal Mohan included. That was how Neal ended up working at Google. Once Neal was there, he famously improved Google's display advertising revenue, which reached $5 billion in 2011. Google Display Ads are ads that can appear above Google search results on Google Play in a shopping tab of Google Maps. The goal of the Google Display Ads division is to attract advertisers to pay for those display ads. Neal's ability to cooperate with the engineers and execute Google's vision on advertising and media strategy and its gruesome requirements allowed Neal to improve Google's display ad revenues tremendously. While Neal only managed to get in after Google acquired DoubleClick, Google's actions show how valued Neal is at the company. Back in 2011, Twitter was struggling to launch new products and generate revenues. Twitter needed a new chief product officer who could fix the company, revamp Twitter's product lineup, and attract advertisers onto the platform. The man they wanted for the job was Neal Mohan. It really helped that David Rosenblatt, the CEO of Neal's former company, DoubleClick, was sitting on the Twitter board of directors. That's how Twitter found out about Neal's capabilities. Google wasn't happy with Twitter and offered to give Neal $100 million worth of stock options to stay, a deal Neal obviously took. Neal was also given the trust and funds to acquire some companies. He personally selected and oversaw the acquisition of Invite Media for $81 million, AdMeld for $400 million, and TerraSent for an undisclosed sum to add more tools to Google's ad business. These acquisitions helped Google grow their advertising revenues significantly. After his stint as a senior vice president of Google Display Ads, he was sent to YouTube to be their chief product officer. Neal Mohan has other affiliations outside of YouTube. He sits on the board of a genetics company called 23andMe, as well as an online personal styling company called Stitch Fix, and MMA Global, a marketing trade organization. Despite Neal's wonderful track record and experience, not everyone is on board with the new CEO of YouTube. There has been some negativity over Neal's appointment to YouTube as the new CEO. Many are wary of him because of the part he played in removing the dislike button on YouTube, which was very controversial in the YouTube YouTube community. Some are cautiously pointing out how Neal was optimistic about NFTs, which many longtime users of YouTube just don't want to see on the platform. On a YouTube blog, Neal told everyone how he believed in blockchain and NFTs and how he thinks NFTs have a lot of potential. Given the scams and uncertain future of NFTs, Neal's opinions were very controversial. Neal wants to add NFTs and Web3 products to YouTube to help creators earn more money. Neal was also responsible for pushing the unpopular swear words policy. Remember that policy on YouTube where if you swear in the first 15 seconds of YouTube video, your video gets demonetized and it can't run ads? Well, that swearing policy that all the YouTubers were mad about, well, Neal was a part of that, so if you enjoy swearing, good luck. Susan Wojcicki, the ex-CEO of YouTube, sent out a statement on YouTube's official blog. In it, she talked about her wonderful time at YouTube and mentioned how important Neal was to the company. She said Neal played pivotal roles in the launch of many high-profile services like YouTube TV, YouTube Music, YouTube Premium, and most recently, Shorts, which is YouTube's answer to TikTok videos. Susan stated she would continue to support Neal with the transition into his new role as the CEO of YouTube and will still try to continue working with some YouTube teams. After some time, she plans to step back and take on a more advisory role at Google. Neal might have said some troubling things about NFTs and was involved in some unpopular decisions on YouTube, but let's give Neal the benefit of the doubt. Now that he's the new YouTube CEO, maybe things will be better. Let's wait and see. Thank you for watching, like and subscribe.